What's up guys, Meredith with ExtremeTerrain, and today we are checking out the Oracle Oculus Switchback bi-LED projector headlights with the black housing and the clear lens, fitting all 2020 and newer JT Gladiators. Now, new headlights for your JT can make a huge difference in the front end appearance of the truck and in performance, especially if you have those factory halogen headlights. Now, if you want a set that's going to do both, these Oculus Switchback headlights will be a great solution, setting your JT apart from the rest. They'll be great if you want more of that dark or aggressive appeal to the front end, and of course, bump up your lighting, which will especially be helpful if you live in a more rural area and need that extra visibility at night. Now, like I mentioned, this set of lights will feature that darker styling, yet the clear lens on the front will offer full transparency for great lighting performance, so you kind of get the best of both worlds here. Now, along with the styling of the color, the single projector in the middle, the small internal detailing inside of the housing, and the halo really give these headlights a lot of character that'll be sure to look good whether you're up close to the headlight or just down the road. Now, the LEDs are also a huge bonus here to help with the modern appearance on the front end, but because of the nature of them, paired with the projector lens, these are going to create a super clear and concise beam pattern without a high energy draw lasting much longer than a halogen would. Now, the halo will even integrate that amber color to switch back to when you turn your turn signal on, which will make you a lot more noticeable on the road and of course a lot more stylish. Now, the construction of these are pretty tough with a plastic outer housing, which is very similar to the factory shape, making it seamless for the install, and an impact-resistant polycarbonate lens on the front. Now, that polycarbonate on the front will be able to withstand off-road brush and branch hits, in addition to highway and fire trail kick-up very well. Now, the lighting on the inside will consist of 200 LEDs with a 5,500 K color temperature, producing a super bright white hue, and 4,800 lumens with a sharp cutoff line and a very full beam for excellent visibility. Now, that's going to be perfect, especially if you're driving down darker back roads. That full beam is really going to help you when it comes to seeing on all angles and not just right in the center. Now, these will be more of a premium option for lighting, but as you can tell from all of the features, it is for very good reason, coming at roughly $675. Now, I do think that there's a lot that stand out from these lights compared to some other options, and especially the factory, considering the single bi-LED for the high and low beam right in the center, the halo, and the design of the housing is super unique in itself. Now, you also have those switchback features and a solid build with a high lumen output that just adds the cherry on top when it comes to the functionality. Now, a lot of the time, lighting does come down to your personal preference in style and design, so I think if you want to invest in a unique set that's going to give you what you need for your JT, then this is going to be an awesome pick. Now, install is going to be very easy at a 1 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter. This is going to be plug and play and come with all of the harnesses that you need. You will have to do some very, very minor wiring as far as this set is concerned. You just have to wire in one wire for this fuse tap here. Otherwise, it should take you about an hour to get the job done. Now, speaking of the install, one of our customers here has put these on their JT and is going to walk you through what that process looks like. So that is going to wrap it up for my review. Let's go ahead and hop into the install.
Today we are going to be installing the bi-LED headlamps with switchback by Oculus on a 2020 Jeep Gladiator. The first step involves removing the grille. There are 6 plastic pop rivets that you will need to remove the grille. Located here, 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 and here, which we will remove either using a rivet popping tool or a screwdriver or any other tool that you can use to pry it open. In order to pop these rivets, we first pry up the top part, and once that is popped up, we then remove the entire rivet. Do this for the other 5 rivets. Once the rivets are removed, you gently pry the front grille by popping it out as such and set aside. For this next part, you will need a 10mm ratchet, and there are 3 bolts on each headlamp that need to be removed. Once the bolts are removed, you simply pop out the headlamp and remove the clip by pressing in and pulling. Repeat for both sides. In order for the switchback to work, you first need to install the included harness on each light. To do this, you simply insert and then screw to tighten. For this next part, we will be connecting that switchback in line with the current turn signal in the fenders. On my vehicle, I have aftermarket fenders with the inner liners removed, but you will still need to locate the same wiring. For this next step, we will be installing the DRL and switchback wiring harness to the existing wiring harness. To do this, you first locate the harness, you pull back on this red piece, squeeze, and pop that piece off. Once you've routed the cable through the headlight slot, you simply connect it in line to the existing harness. At the end, we will zip tie all the cables to make them nice and neat. Once the DRL switchback harness is connected, we will then connect the headlight harness. And once that is complete, we will put the headlight back in place. And we will install the bolts. Here is the other side. Make sure you line up the lights properly. Place one bolt to secure, and then install the remaining bolts. Once the lights are installed and working, I like to remove the plastic. And then we will go about putting the grill back on. In order to replace the grill, simply line up the little push tabs and pop into place. Once this is finished, you can replace those rivets by pressing them into the hole and then pressing down. Now you shut the hood. Zip tie all the wires nice and neat, and you are done.
So that is going to wrap it up for my review and the install of these Oracle Oculus Switchback by LED projector headlights with a black housing and a clear lens, fitting all 2020 and newer JT Gladiators, and you can find these right here at ExtremeTerrain.com.